Welcome to Bridging the Gap to Connections, the talk show, where we begin by sharing your stories and spotlighting your shine. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap to Connections, everybody. I am so glad to be back. Today is Tuesday, talking books, art, and more. And I really want to take a moment and let everybody know really what is Bridging the Gap to Connections all about for Tuesdays. Are you into events, entertainment, arts, or writing and creating books? If you're in a book project, if you are just published a book project, if you are in the moments of creating some form of art, if you are in the entertainments, if you are literally doing anything in regards to books, art, and just the creative world, I really want to talk to you guys. I want you all to be featured on the show. Yes, I have the show every day. Yes, I like to show up, but it's really not about the Darla Hour. What it really is about is finding those out there who need to be shared. And I really want to open my stage for you guys. And it is an opportunity. Now, if you want a specific feature and you want it to be tailored all the way around, just you, what you do, why you do it, how you do it, and all of those details, I am charging $49 for that. But the rest of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I'm allowing people to come on with me to do these different recordings to put out at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, meaning that we can record it in the morning, the evening, the afternoon, whatever's available on my schedule that works out with yours, we pre-record. But it will be set to those times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Now, what it'll be: Mondays for mental health, Tuesdays for books, art, and more, Wednesdays, words of wisdoms, and Thursday for therapeutic Thursdays. Now, features, like I said, those are my Fridays. Those are the ones that are going to be tailored around who you are, and what you're doing, and all of those details. But the rest of the time, I'm having you guys just come on and share what you are doing in a more setup where we're going to have more of a talk show setting. So we're going to have interview questions that are going to be like, hey, so what are you doing? We're going to dive into those little details, but it'll be just a small link and just the show. So that gives you a little bit more idea of what we're doing with each one of the days. And I'm going to continue to just express and share so that you know along the way. Now, I want to get into what have I been doing. I know I took a little bit of time down because I was doing some remodeling, creating a new logo, doing the different things that I was doing to get set up a little bit more where people can connect a little easier and things to come together. But I have been doing a series from Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. If you remember, I was teaching on the thought conditioners. And if you were following that, I'm not leaving you hanging without continuing. I'm going to do it in between the stuff when I'm on the downtime, when I don't have someone else to share the show with. So today is one of those days. So we've already covered, and I'm going to go back over. One, the first thought conditioner out of the 40 is the things which are impossible with men are possible with God. Luke 18:27. If you want to go look and read more into that. The second one we covered was peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. Give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14:27. The next one was number 3, renew a right spirit within me. Psalm 51:10. Those were the thought conditioners that we've already covered. So today we're on number 4, and it says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. This is Thought Conditioner number 4 by Norman Vincent Peale. Perhaps the strain and burden of life have made you tired. If so, maybe you're carrying life too heavily. Primarily, we do not get tired in our muscles, but in our minds. We develop that "I'm swamped" feeling. Allow this text to dissolve in your thoughts as a kind of spiritual lozenge, like a lozenger, like when you take a medicine. As you turn to Jesus in your thoughts, he will give you rest. And how does he do that? One way is by showing you how to work. Learn of me, he says. In other words, work by my method. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:30. That is to say, easy does it. Don't strain, don't tug, but relax. Do one job at a time using the light touch, an easy stroke. When I hear this message, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Ironically, I did not know what we were going to be reading today because I didn't look, because it's been a couple weeks since I've looked at this paper. And I think it's funny that yesterday, if you watch yesterday's episode, we talked about the pause and the importance of pause. Really, I was already still fine-tuned and in that development. When we are heavy laden, which means that our minds are maxed out, our circumstances are too much, we've taken way too much. Imagine a plate at Thanksgiving, which is coming up here in the US. If you imagine a plate at your festivities, any festivities, no matter where you're at in the world, I want you to take a time and think about how much do you really lay on that plate? A lot of times during our festive times, it's either feast or famine, right? And it's the feast. When we're all celebrating, we're enjoying the feast. But sometimes when it comes down to our daily things, we end up doing the same thing. I need to do this. I need to do that. Oh, I need to take care of them. I need to take care of those. I have to take on, and sometimes we forget that we're just as important, and sometimes we forget to say no. I know that myself personally have been, this has been a problem place for myself many times over, where I didn't want to disprove myself with others. So I was a people pleaser at one point, and I really wanted to make sure everybody was happy. And no was a threatening condition for me, because maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't want me around if I couldn't solve the problem. And I overworked myself in many areas of my life until I learned that the yoke is easy, meaning what I'm picking up should be easy. It should be what I can do, not what I'm trying to discover and figure out with a lot of stress. Work made light is with many, not just one. I've learned that because I've spent a lot of my years as the lone wolf, figuring it out, trying to take care of things, working on my own, thinking nobody was there. When in all actuality, maybe the problem was I just didn't ask. So, how many of you can actually relate to what I just said? Maybe the burdens that we're actually facing could be made just a little easier if we could let go of our ego and pride and just ask for a little bit of help. Sometimes we have to say, I just don't know how to do that. And when we say that, it opens the door for others to come that does know how to do it and maybe show us the way. Just as much as we give every day, we should be receiving. And if there's some imbalance in that area, it isn't somebody else's responsibility to change that. It's our own. So I want you to take a moment today and ask how you're picking up maybe just a little bit too much. And how can you begin redirecting yourself, redesigning it, where you're showing up for what you can do and actually becoming a success at what you're doing by focusing down on the details and that matter most today to get you where you're going tomorrow. This is Darla Williams signing off. Until next time, this is Talking Tuesdays, Books and Art and More. And I will see you tomorrow with Words of Wisdom. Bye for now.